Hey you guys, and welcome back to another video. Quick little PSA before we get this started. For those of you guys who know, I normally post about twice a month here with my recaps and my breakdowns. However, personally, I don't feel like that's enough content for you guys. So I am bringing over some of my Patreon exclusives over here so you guys can watch that. Now these are reactions and reviews done with me, my sibling, and some other friends, and it's called Blerdflix and Chill. Yes, I know, but honestly, I really like the title. These, however, are very edited down because obviously I don't want the YouTube copyright hammer to come and bash me over the head, obviously. But if you guys want the full videos, just head over to my Patreon. The links are going to be down below. Also, if you guys love these kind of things, please like, comment, and subscribe. It honestly does so much for the algorithm, and it shows me that you guys love it and gives me motivation. Also, I finally have a new Discord. I finally finished up my Discord. That too is linked in the bio below. Alright, on to the video. So how's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Well, another Blerdflix and Chill video. I kind of remember to keep on calling it that. But it's your girl Ray and my sibling Tony. Hello, Tony. Hello. Today, we are feeling a little bit wicked because I am forcing Tony to watch Wicked. Have you even seen
the Wicked?
Like, I know I've made you listen to like the soundtrack, but I don't think I've ever. Have you actually seen the movie?
I was literally about to say I have seen the movie, but I must unfortunately admit I was of the group of people who are fans of Wicked, but have never seen the play nor like read the book.
Yeah,
which
stay away from that book.
So unfortunate, but it's so unfortunate to me because I feel like you're the opposite. I know that you have seen the play, but have you ever read the book?
I actually have it on my my Audible. By the way, you guys, if you guys want to have a very good breakdown of the Wicked book, I'm going to put the link in the description below with a guy. His name is Dominic Noble. He does a very good breakdown of the book, and it made me realize that I cannot read that book and take it seriously.
Yeah. Dominic, we love Dominic.
We love him. I'll be honest, I've followed him since he was originally called The Dom. But then he reviewed 50 Shades of Grey, and he's like, oh crap, I can't call myself this no more.
Fuck.
He's like,
no, it's not good things, because freaking movie.
Yeah, I remember, oh my gosh, I followed him for years. But, everybody, let's get comfortable, and let's begin this review.
I say, even though I already knew this.
I scream in pain.
The Wicked Witch of the West is dead.
Okay, look, I gotta pause it right here because there was nothing like hearing the glass break, the trumpets of No One Mourns the Wicked in theaters. When I tell you I felt that in the world, like literally I felt that movie theater shook. Like I felt the vibrations in my teeth. And it really set the stage. You know, it really set the stage.
Oh, shut up!
Hey, Dorothy, with your bitch ass.
I know who they are.
Also,
you know who they
unfortunately, the only person I actually have beef with this whole crew right here is the Tin Man, which will be revealed why in the second movie.
I can't wait.
Also, okay,
but so only because of the context, but also like,
yeah,
damn.
Also. So a couple things that you'll notice here that it's a blink and you miss it thing. But before we get to what's on the screen, one of the things I am slightly unsure about is, remember how in the actual Wizard of Oz, the Munchkins were like actual little people? In this one, they're kind of like the Hobbits, where they're described as little people in the books, but when you portray them on, you know, in new media, they're just a diverse group of people who just like bright colors. So I'm like, little person, you know, I don't know how other little people would feel about this. Like, personally, I feel like it's taking away representation from them, but also hearing about the type of
job opportunities, I can see that.
Exactly, but also hearing about the type of abuses they felt, you know, they suffered in, you know, on Wicked. I mean, not on Wicked, on The Wizard of Oz. I'm not so, you know, I don't know, like, if there are actual, you know what, I'll do some research. And see, like, what, because, you know, they probably call little people, and that's what we shall call them. I'm going to see what their beliefs and what their opinion is with this. Kind of like how a lot of them didn't like didn't like Snow White, not because of the negative stereotypes, but because of freaking Tyrion Lannister opening up his fat mouth.
Like,
and
Peter
constantly,
Dinklage, I can understand where he was coming from, but
he
has been outspoken for a reason.
Yeah, he's been actually really controversial recently. Really recently.
Well, I hope not.
Well, it's just because, like, he kind of, the way a lot of people, the way that I've seen it explained is that because he's basically reached a high level of notoriety, he believes himself to be the face of little people. And yeah, exactly of the little people community, and a lot of people do not agree with what he says. Like, for example, the whole thing with Snow White. We'll get it, like, maybe we'll watch Snow White and we'll talk about it then, but a lot of people in their community were pissed about what he said and basically what the aftermath was.
Do you remember what it was he had said?
Basically, so his whole problem with it, and I'm just paraphrasing here. I probably will go back and, like, find the actual quotes later and insert it. Yeah. But, like, long story short, he felt as if it was an insult to little people to portray the dwarves, right?
I think I remember that, yeah.
And so Disney did the classic thing of, well, somebody, you know, rather than addressing an actual problem, we use as a scapegoat, and rather than using actual little people to portray the dwarves, they took them all out and had regular sized people just in green screen. And a lot of little people, I remember that. You know, a lot of people inside their community were very angry because, yes, while Peter Dinklage did have a point and it was kind of insulting, he did take legitimate jobs from people in their community. And instead it went to able-bodied people, which basically is their version of blackface, you know? So a lot of little people did have problems with that. So I wonder what their feelings are with this, because remember in the original movie, it was Munchkinland was called Munchkinland because everybody was little people. But as here, you can clearly see
was small.
Exactly, everybody was small. But in here, you can clearly see they're all normal sized. So do they feel like the people from Snow White did, that it's a disservice to them and took away from opportunities, or do they not care?
I think that what Peter Dinklage said could have been phrased better.
Yeah,
because it is insulting that people, a lot of casting directors and a lot of directors out there in production management, they do typecast in their head. They do. At some point, for certain projects, they do that. But the thing though is that, like, it's fine to if the general community agreed that it's fine for these roles to exist if it means that they get to still make a living, which is valid. The downside of having a true like blind casting is that if it does go to anybody, regardless of who they are or anything like that, then that's great. But way too often, again, what sounds like blind castings low-key turns out to be typecasting.
Yeah, and then
I'm sorry.
No,
what were we saying?
no, I was gonna say, and then you have these corporations to rather than standing by their actors and rather than putting their feet down, they just decide to be like, well, it's just easier to kill two birds with one stone, and we're just gonna take it away and give it to other people, because at the end of the day, also, they're all about money. And when you have people with disabilities or people with or people who are differently abled, there are strict laws and strict regulations you have to follow. And at the end of the day, it may cost them more to follow those laws. You know, and also some of them are just prejudice. In their minds, it's easier just to get rid of, you know, the different people, the minorities, and just have everybody look a certain way and be a certain way. Which is sad. Really, really sad.
It's terribly sad.
Also, sorry before we got on the side tangent, but if you look at the poster, I noticed this in my other watches. There's like various little like Easter eggs and various little things that I probably think are important to the plot. So like you see the installation of the Yellow Brick Road here. We have Sapphire City. I don't remember Sapphire City in the original movie. Do you remember Sapphire City?
No, I don't think so. I think that it was just the Emerald City, at least the original, like, what was it, 1940s film?
Yeah.
I think they just mentioned the Emerald City. I'm trying to remember do you remember the Disney sequel that they did with,
Return to Oz?
Like,
I never watched
Return
it.
to Oz.
I just know it was scary.
Dog, it was scary as shit. I feel like it was more unsettling than scary, but that's another thing.
Yeah.
Where's the heads? I can't remember if Sapphire's... No, I think that was the Emerald City that had been cursed that we see. Okay.
Yeah.
Then, this is a nice little Easter egg, but...
I'm trying to figure out what it was.
What? Maybe for the readers or the play folks.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we just need to brush up on that.
And then also you can see the installation of the Yellow Brick Road. I mean, from the overhead shot that we saw, you would think the Yellow Brick Road was finished, but clearly it's not. So it makes you wonder,
what is this timeline?
Like, you know, what is this timeline, or is it being expanded? Like, maybe they're not done with making the Yellow Brick Road, because, I want to recall there's a line later in the movie, but I'm not going to spoil it, because I'm not even sure if the line is even true. I could be thinking of something else. I could be thinking of something from the play. Why are they all redheads? I'm sorry, this is the ADHD part of me, but I'm looking. Why are all but like 5 of them redheads? Look.
Oh.
Redhead.
The guy who plays SpongeBob, wasn't he a Munchkin too?
Yes.
What color is his hair?
Red.
I'm joking.
Like, why is everybody redheads except for like this one lady back here who I'm pretty sure is a brunette?
I don't know. She looks like she just has a hat on, which makes me mad. Which legitimately makes me mad. I hope she's a brunette.
Yeah, like everybody is a redhead. What's going on here?
I did not notice. What the hell?
That is the ADHD in me. Okay, but then it also, like, her doing this casual song. By the way, for the guys who don't know, she's singing "Nobody Mourns." She's in the introduction to "No One Mourns the Wicked." But I'm just surprised that she thinks, like, the way she's acting. She's like, yes, I'm gonna sing this little tune, and I'm gonna be on my way. That's not gonna last
I
for
wish.
long, obviously.
I wish.
I really wish that that's how this ended. Her face
That's
is literally is like, don't interrupt me. I'm hitting these
she's like,
notes. My vocal
Yeah.
cords are being shredded right now.
How are you?
Thing that kills me is she's trying to be like, you guys, yes, she was evil, but she had a reason. Let's all be nice.
Empathetic to her.
Still be empathetic. Meanwhile, everybody's like, let's pound that bitch to the ground.
like we're so glad she's fucking dead, and Glinda's just like, hey, so people are people too. We can only imagine how lonely she was. Not vilifying her, but just saying they live a lonely life, and they're just like, fuck them.
Yeah, and this is what I mean when I say, like,
Fuck them.
Well, as you said earlier, that depending on who's telling the story, depends on what it like really determines what the message of it's going to be.
Yes,
You
that
know?
unreliable narrator. Yep, absolutely.
Exactly. The unreliable narrative to the T.
Yeah, because like, who are we supposed to be believing right now in this sequence? The Munchkins or Glinda?
And that's what I mean. It's like later on, like in the second movie, when it's revealed like what Elphaba has been doing, nothing that she does literally warrants this type of response.
Yep.
Comparison to the books, I lean more to be like, yeah, she kind of deserved it. But she like don't get me wrong, she still had a reason to do what she did. But it's nothing. But like her in the movies and in the play is nothing compared to what, you know, you would have think that she took all their Force-born children the way these kids are acting.
Let me say that. Yes. Why does wickedness happen?
Because all y'all are redheads, I guess. I don't know.
Shut
I don't
up.
know. Let's start with one mystery at a time.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Why are all y'all redheads? That is the primary mystery.
I'll answer mine if you answer yours.
You know, like that's the primary mystery of what I see before me. Why are all y'all redheads? What is the gene pool of this place? Was that there this whole time while they were singing?
Imagine if they just like unfurled it.
No, for real.
Just like after they stopped singing. That would be hilarious.
Also, that graphic is so weird because, like, okay, is that her teeth in her lips? Or is that supposed to be her lips and then her teeth? Like, you see where the yellow is in her mouth?
Yeah.
I can't tell. What is that supposed to be? Can you tell?
I want to say maybe that's supposed to be her teeth.
You think it's supposed to be her teeth?
Like her yellow teeth. But also, like, why y'all think she got jaundice? Come on now.
No, I know, right?
Jaundice
Why are her eyes yellow?
Like, but like, unfortunately, I have to say, if I wasn't biased, yes, I might be disturbed by this, but I am because I'm voting for everybody black.
Yes, as we should be.
Hello.
Okay,
what is that they checking?
Okay, two things. One, you note the red dress, right?
Okay.
What other Broadway musical has a woman in a red dress?
Chicago.
No, bitch. Other one.
I'm sorry. I feel like it's obvious.
Yes, it's very much so. Hold on, wait.
Is it not Annie?
No.
It's gonna come to me.
Come on. I know you'll think it. I know I'm not throwing away my shot. I want to be in the room where it happens.
Hamilton?
Yeah. So the lovely actress playing Elphaba's mother actually played Eliza Peggy. Actually played Peggy, and in Hamilton, the actress who plays Peggy also plays Mariah Reynolds.
Shut up.
Yep. Behold, Peggy / Mariah Reynolds.
That like oh my god, small world, but also like oh my god.
Now she's not the original one. Like she was, she came after her. But yeah, that's one of them. I forget her name off the top of my head. I'll probably post it later. But yeah, she played her, and I find this so funny because she didn't even like really wait until he left. Because if you like,
Yeah,
the
because he
door,
was like in the other room, wasn't he?
no, he literally left out the front door, and within seconds she went like to the side door and went and got this dude.
Oh my god! Yeah,
but there are also like servants in this house. Is nobody like seeing this? The way that two things. One, nobody heard any of that. Okay. Two,
the cat walked over the thing.
no, for real. And then two, obviously, Jeff Goldblum plays the wizard, right? And it's so funny because like if you did not know his voice, you wouldn't know that was him. But then I was like, wait a minute. That means she, like, technically speaking, in this timeline, her Jeff Goldblum is the Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park, and my mind freaking exploded because if you go by time, technically, you know,
like yeah, he's a silver fox now, but like he was a heartthrob back in the day.
Very much so. I'm like, okay, girl.
Like a froggy ferny cabbage, the baby is unnaturally green.
Which again, in a world that has talking animals, flying bubbles, and like trees that can fight for you, because you know from the original movie they have living trees. You're telling me her having green skin is where y'all draw the line?
That's wild.
You know, that is just so wild. You're telling me that's where you guys draw the line?
Yep.
And it's even crazier because in the books, they have people that have different skin colors. You know, like, okay. Yeah, they do. Also, another thing in the books, she has razor sharp teeth.
Oh.
And she like bites off the finger of one of the maids.
Oh.
By accident. She didn't know.
She's like a baby?
Yeah, it's a baby. Which is kind of like one of those little like funny oopsie scenes. But but yeah, it's just a baby. Also, that her mother's heartburn would have been insane. Look at all that hair.
Look, I was about to say, look at that food.
That her mother's heartburn was out of this world. I know
no
it
wonder.
was.
She was
her. No, for real.
Whatever that shit was that made her green.
Mm-hmm. You're telling me you kept that green bottle? Souvenir of your affair.
Well, yes.
Also,
I don't know that.
Also, another thing from the books, and by the way, I'll try to touch on book things as we go in. Also, so they're not really spoilers. They're in a polyamorous relationship with some other dude.
Huh?
Yeah,
Elphaba's parents.
Yeah, but sexuality in Oz is literally the freaking rainbow. So it's perfectly it's perfectly normal for you to see like same-sex people, people in polyamorous relationships, you know, people who are single but just adopt children. So like sexuality as a whole is not really a problem inside Oz. I just find it interesting that the play decided to keep it a heterosexual relationship. You know?
Man.
Because in the books, Glinda is straight. Glinda is firmly straight in the books. But Elphaba is very much so bisexual. Or more so pansexual because technically speaking, she doesn't really care. Technically.
Probably aware also, because that's one thing I will say. Mm-hmm. Sometimes parents actually are just overly anxious adults.
Yeah.
And they judge their child accordingly because they're afraid more of the world's reaction to their differences than how to properly teach their child to be comfortable with their inherent differences.
Yeah.
Just because we're different doesn't mean I'm no different. I'm not deserving of things, right? Just because I'm autistic does not mean I'm not deserving of a healthy relationship. You know, just because I have schizophrenia does not mean that I am not deserving of a clean, safe, stable environment.
Yeah.
Like just she just has green skin.
Yeah.
And sometimes things move on their own, but that's fine.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
whatever. There's flying monkeys, for Christ's sake.
Who gave her that book?
Dulce Bear.
Yeah, most likely
I feel
Dulce
like
Bear.
I feel like that, or like I don't know, maybe somebody just wanted to give her something to honor her parentage.
Well, here's the thing: nobody knows technically.
Well, then, yeah, then who the hell? Maybe Dulce Bear as a sign of, those kind of things where like sometimes people meet their destiny in like fictional tropes on accident by happenstance.
Yeah.
I think that Elphaba's like natural attraction to the wizard and wanting to be his
Apprentice or something.
Yeah, like interested in him generally, came from things like this, which regardless of whether she knew he was in relation to her or not, it helped give her that whimsy. It helped give her that hope. Here is somebody else who's different like me, and was able to become the most powerful man in all of Oz.
Yeah.
Oz?
Yeah.
And unbeknownst to her, he's just a normal human guy. Like, what do you mean a normal human guy is actually, like, out of the ordinary in Oz? That's ludicrous.
Which is also super funny when you realize, like, how she gets her powers. I'm not going to reveal it until we get more closer to that thing. More closer to it, because the book explains it more than the movie, unfortunately, does. So yeah. I'm going to have to, like, explain it as best as I could. I mean, as best as I can. But at the moment, she's just raw, untouched power, Yep. Why?
Kids.
Also, the thing that also makes me like annoyed is like, okay, so yes, her father is obviously negligent of her. Also, how dare he dress her like that? But two, he's still the governor of Munchkin Land. That's still his daughter.
Yes.
Like,
who are you? Where's the guard?
Where's the exactly? Where are the guards and security? Like, also, how did y'all get here? Because clearly this looks to be like the mayoral, like the governor's palace or whatever. Did y'all like
the governor of Munchkin Land?
Yeah. Did y'all just like climb the wall or something like that?
We're trespassing.
It looks like trespassing to me.
Seize them.
Seize them. I'm sick.
Yeah.
What have you done this time?
Okay.
It wasn't her fault.
Also,
where was the adults?
Exactly. No, seriously. Where were the adults while this was going on? Also, I love that he immediately jumps to what have you done this time? As if he did not literally just see her throw rocks at children that were making her younger sister cry. Like...
Yes.
But then also, I'll talk about my beef with Nessa Rose when we get to like the time jump when she's older. Because I do have a legit problem with her. Especially when we get to her in the next movie. But I will discuss like my main critique of her.
It couldn't have been easy.
So, did y'all have this the whole time?
No, for real. Just like that sign. Where did y'all get this thing?
Yeah, like where did you hide this? In a barn? In someone's house? Were you guys waiting on this the whole time? How long have you had this effigy?
Not only that, but like the fact that Glinda is telling the Munchkins their own history tells you that it's clearly. Also, I love those shoes. It's clearly it's clearly, how do I explain this? Time corrupts, or like people's fear of you corrupts your memory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like if her father was the governor of Munchkin Land and she had a sister and she had an actual history here, why doesn't seemingly anybody remember her? But that also kind of be like, I would assume the adults in the situation are the same age, if not older, than Glinda and Elphaba, because they're supposed to be around the same age, like early 20s. So you're telling me that nobody, like the kids, I get a pass. The kids obviously get a pass, but like you adults, seriously? You know? What if she turned out to be good? That's another thing. What if she turned out to be framed?
What if she was, yes, what if she had turned out to be innocent? Y'all motherfuckers have egg on y'all face now.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one who made this effigy when you guys could have used those funds to get down to the bottom of the root cause of why everyone's a fucking redhead.
Exactly.
Everyone except these two people on screen.
Exactly. Get some genetic testing or something. Because why are y'all all redheads? Get some genetic testing
at least
for your
dye
people.
your hair. Some of y'all need to dye it.
Also, if we're going by in-universe rules, why do they all know the steps to this dance? Why do they? Because
they practiced. Listen, you remember, because they practiced so hard because of the effigy. They worked so hard to make that effigy. You think they didn't do a choreography?
True. Because like Glinda is making up these lyrics as she goes on, but like what? But how do y'all have a counter song and dance steps?
They were like, look at this gay bitch.
What the heck did they put on that thing? Kerosene 9000?
Like, let me put nitroglycerin on the thing.
How is that thing catching fire that fast and easy? Like, hello? Messy ass bitch. Like, girl. I can assure you now is not. You had all this time to ask that question. What happened? You could have asked this question 2 verses ago.
Too late.
Exactly. 2 bridges ago, you could have asked this question. Also, I just realized something. Looking at her bubble, is she supposed to like stand on there that whole time? If so, why are there like cushions and things on the side?
Maybe
like, does she sit down on it when she's like not in a bubble? Is it supposed to be like a seat?
Maybe she sits on it, but you know, like, because she's floating around, what if she hits turbulence?
She hits turbulence. I feel like she would be able to control the turbulence. She's in a bubble.
Exactly.
Like, I would assume she's able to control the turbulence.
I feel like she'd be able to right herself, but she wouldn't be able to, like, if it's, like, terrible winds, girl, you know better. You should not have been out in that storm.
Yeah.
Stop, this is like Sinners.
Okay, I will admit, first of all, I'll give Ariana her flowers. I do not like her. Full disclosure, I do not like Ariana for a myriad of reasons. But she is a very good Glinda.
Yep.
She is a very good Glinda. You can clearly tell that she did her research. And I saw online that like she's wanted to be Glinda since like she was a baby. So I can understand that this was like the opportunity of her lifetime and she did not want to mess it up. I will give her that. It's just really confusing me with like, why are you blonde and have like black lashes?
Hey man, Daenerys.
Also, why are your lashes upturned, like uplifting in the corner of your eye? That's like stabbing the inner part of like your eyelid.
Hey man, we don't look at her makeup department, okay? The check's cleared. Regardless, the check cleared.
Okay, fine. The check cleared.
I have respect for that.
But you must understand, it was a long time ago.
Like, here's the thing: the movie. I mean, the book, not the book. The book takes place over several decades. The musical, less than 5, if I'm correct. I could be wrong. Yes, the book, like the actual book of Wicked, takes place over several decades. It has several sequels.
How many? Like 60 years?
It covers
sequels.
Yes. It covers everything from her birth to her childhood to her middlehood to her time as an adult to she lives to be like pretty old. Well, not pretty old per se, but she lives to be, not young. Best way to explain it. There are sequels. There's stuff about Elphaba's son. Like, there's a lot of stuff in there that I know that they literally hacked off with a hammer to make the play, which then became the movie. But no, I was saying, why is this river like a ribbon winding shape? It would be so much easier to get to the school if you literally just cut straight through it.
Wouldn't it?
You know?
Unfortunately, they hate us. So.
Yeah. Or this could be a message on how you need to follow just around the river bend, follow down the river, whatever the story is.
Just around the river bend.
Like just around the river bend, or whatever the story actually is.
My girlfriend's there, just around the river bend.
Look how he is.
What the hell?
No, for real. How did you?
Ended all the way in folks' business.
Also, the crazy thing is, like, I believe this is in Munchkin Land. You know, I believe they're in Munchkin Land. Also, peep the non-gender conforming uniform on how, like, it has like a half skirt, half pants. I kind of feel like they were stealing this. Well, since like some of the outfits, I kind of feel like they were stealing this from the Hunger Games, Sunrise of the Reaping. Not Sunrise of the Reaping, but the Hunger Games, the one with Coriolanus. Because if you look in the movie, their uniforms are like half skirt, half pants. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I wonder if they kind of
like blue.
No, they're red. Their uniforms are red.
Oh.
But I'm like, I feel like they kind of stole that from them, because why do you guys have this? Micro waistlet braids, clockets.
What y'all know?
Also, full disclosure, Cynthia does have her own controversy as well. But I do say that her insisting that Elphaba have long nails makes sense. I love it. It just cracks me up that literally you guys have talking animals, flying creatures, and all, flying cars and all that, but green skin is where you draw the line.
Oh yes,
you know, like that. And all like that's what's
all
just
that shit isn't contagious.
Like that's just cracking me up. Like green skin is where y'all draw the line. Like in the books, it makes sense. She has green skin and razor sharp like teeth. So I kind of understand them being a little bit nervous around her.
Look way more monstrous.
Exactly, but like the fact that she literally looks perfectly human, but she just has like her saturation filter is just up slightly. Just cracks me up.
I am. Fine. Let's get this over with. No, I am not seasick. No, I did not eat grass as a child. And yes, I've always been green.
With the snatched as hell waist. You go, girl.
Like
who told you to look this cunty? I need to know.
Exactly.
Like how were you how are you serving? And the crazy thing is,
who are you serving?
But the crazy thing that makes me crackle is this. You know that her father did not give her any money for clothes, or if anything gave her the bare minimum. So she most likely made these outfits.
Yep.
So it's like, I'm sorry, Glinda, but she has you beat in the fashion department because you have people make clothes for yourself. She does them by her own hand, most likely.
Yeah, ain't got no choice. It's either that or like a cold knapsack.
Mother's jeweled shoes.
So they can all see how beautiful you are right down to your toes.
Would you be surprised if I told you that in the books, she actually can walk?
No, slightly. I think I would. No, I would be surprised because what the fuck?
Do you know what her actual disability is in the books?
Don't tell me.
What do you think?
I think something like that, unless it's true.
What do you think? Like,
Don't spoil it to me, but I will guess.
Okay, guess.
He said why she can walk?
Mm-hmm.
Because she faking it?
No. No, in the books, her disability is completely different.
Oh, what is her disability?
Mm-hmm.
If it's not, like, wheelchair bound?
Yeah.
What is her disability? I don't know. Is it connected to the shoes?
Technically, yeah, but I'll go ahead and tell you. In the books...
No. Is it spoilers?
No, it's not. It's not spoilers because they completely changed the dynamic in the play/movie in comparison to the books. So in the books, she's born without arms.
Oh.
Yes, she's born without arms, and the reason why she prefers to use a wheelchair to get around is because she can't balance correctly. Because naturally you use your arms to balance when you walk. When you walk, you swing your arms like that. I can't exactly remember why. I think the reason why they changed it to her being disabled in her legs in the play is because it's, unfortunately, this is going to sound very brutal, but it's just easier to cast an actress to sit in a chair.
Yeah.
Especially later on.
Which is why so many disabled actors are like, hey man, we're not asking for much.
Yeah.
You know, why can't you pay me this amount of cash, but you're willing to give it to an able-bodied person?
Yeah.
That's not fair. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's not the case here, and I'm also glad that it wasn't the case when A Quiet Place came out. Because I'm pretty sure both was mostly ran on a very much, hey, Thanksgiving's coming soon.
Yeah, I'm really glad they cast actual people with disability. And also, the actress who plays Nessa Rose actually said in an interview that technically she can stand up on her own. I mean, not on her own. She needs assistance to stand up. And she can take steps, but she can't, actually walk. So, I'm actually glad they changed the gift quote that Elphaba gives her in the second movie. I won't reveal what the gift is, but I am glad that they changed the gift that Elphaba gives her, because it prevents the whole stereotype of disabled people are grumpy and angry because they're disabled, but then they're able to be free, and now they're able to be full members of society. I'm glad that they had the smarts to change that, because that was also a thing that a lot of people who are disabled had a problem with. They were like, hey, you're basically treating us like we're objects when we're not objects.
We're less than.
Also, the shoes annoy the heck out of me, because why are you giving it to her if those are her mother's, if those are their mother's shoes?
If those are her mother's shoes, they should have been. Let's see if she actually had them, if there was a will and testament, and if they were included in them, like the shoes. I personally believe that this man, again, is an unreliable narrator.
Yes.
This man would have given them to Nessa regardless of whether or not the mom intended.
I agree.
Which sucks, because I feel that Elphaba so often puts herself in that the glass child syndrome is Elphaba. But it's so weird because she's also, I feel like you can also make the case of she's that the tragedy of being an eldest sibling.
Yeah, especially
an eldest sibling that is different.
Yeah, there's a lot there's so many layers of Elphaba and Nessa Rose I haven't gotten to yet where I can start complaining about her, but it's coming. It's coming.
Today is
the start of your new life.
The start of your new life. Like you see,
I see what you.
Hold up. I think I know why. Sorry to interrupt, but I think I know why this is pissing me off so much.
Mm-hmm.
I am an older sister. I am an older sister who raised her siblings, who unfortunately did have glass child syndrome. I think that's why this is hitting so much for me, because it's triggering me, but not in a way that, oh, I'm gonna have a meltdown or something. It's triggering me because I'm basically seeing a portion of what I went through, but it's like, you know, they got fantasy and shit. They got magic and talking animals, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's why this is like why I'm also so critical of Nessa Rose, because in my head, I'm like, girl, you're grown. You saw all this. You should have said something. Now, obviously, I'm wrong. Like, you know, she was a child when that happened. But I think it's also because it's like, in my head, you weren't a child forever. Yeah, you were spoiled, you know, spoiled rotten by both the abuser, their father, and the abused, their, you know, her sister. But it got to a point where she should have been able to realize this is not okay. And like, because Elphaba is clearly dropping hints that this is all about you, this is all about you, this is all about you. And as somebody who has unfortunately been in this situation, that's what's triggering me so much, you know?
Yeah, no, I can see and understand that because of the fact that you're an elder sibling. But I think that's the reason why my stance is the way it is, because I am the youngest. And because we both had, children are going to have, especially if you have at the very least two different perspectives of the exact same house. Always it's going to happen. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. It is what it is. You can't change that. The thing about me is that I say once again, I feel that it's hard to judge what should have or could have happened based on the fact that they were children during the abuse versus now as adults. I believe that after a while, complacency kicks in. If you are one of the kinds of kids, or you have the kind of character here who's very much like, well, naturally they don't want to step on toes.
Yeah.
Then what do you think they're gonna do when they become an adult? They're gonna be very permissible.
Yeah.
They're gonna be very what's the word? Tolerant.
Yeah.
Even of intolerant action.
Exactly.
I say again, does that make it okay to judge a child for those actions?
See, and that's why I've changed my stance where, okay, I do not judge a child by that. You know, I don't judge her as a child anymore. But my stance then changes to, you are not a child forever. Because
she is a grown woman now.
Because my main thing is like, we can't just hold that she was a child when it happened, so she she was a child when it happened, but that does not mean, but like I said before, she was not a child forever, and she clearly can pick up on when Elphaba is uncomfortable, when she is nervous, when she is, you know, feeling uncomfortable around their father because their father is emotionally abusive to her, and she has seen that. So I'll stick with now. I do not hold Nessa accountable as a child. You know, I'll side eye it. Don't get me wrong. I will side eye it. But at the end of the day, she was a child. But now, like, here's the thing. Anything post you being 17 especially when your frontal lobe doesn't fully develop, blah, 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 until you're 21. But you know what's right and wrong, because it's the same way I don't believe that white people should have racist phases. I don't believe in that shit. The moment you learn, here's the thing, if black kids and kids of color as young as 2 can hear slurs thrown at them as young as 2 years old, like that's the average age kids of color, specifically black children, hear the N-word in a derogatory way thrown at them. That's the average age, 2 years old. So if they at 2, unfortunately, have to have the talk with their parents, I don't believe white kids should have a racist phase.
No, it's valid. I think while both statements can exist, on one hand, you have the kind where it's like, everybody should be able to make mistakes at any point in their life and learn from them.
Exactly.
Point blank, period. On the other hand, no, it is not fair how black and brown children are not given the grace of being children when it comes to making their own mistakes, let alone learning about the severity of the world when it comes to those decisions.
Exactly.
Whatever path you take as a black or brown person, we will always have to be mindful of the privileges of our white counterparts. And so it is aggravating how it does feel a lot of the time that they're not aware of that.
Yeah.
Because for every, what was it? I think it was some singer that had said some singer that had said the N-word back when he was like 13, 14, 15. And it got online and people were talking about that and was raising a stink.
Are you talking about Justin Bieber?
No, it was somebody else. I wouldn't be surprised with him, but no, it was.
I'm about to say because that did happen.
Whoever was dating Camila Cabello.
Shawn
Mendes.
Yeah, Shawn Mendes.
I'm pretty sure it was him who had said the N-word at some point when he was younger, and he did apologize for it, and he was 15, and when he apologized for it, he was like in his 20s, mid to early to mid 20s. So kudos to him, and obviously I hope that he hasn't said the N-word since then, because he's a singer. What context would you even have for that? But yeah, it is frustrating how we're expected to just let that happen and let that go.
And the thing is also, is like black kids or kids in general, but specifically black kids, that unfortunately leaches into their everyday life, because it's well documented that kids of color get disciplined at higher rates for the most minor things compared to their white counterparts, and also when it comes to like medical care and wording of disciplinary records, it's more common to see things like aggressive and violent on their disciplinary records that leads to them, in the end getting in-school suspension or out-of-school suspension, that then leads to them getting expelled, which then racists will use as, these kids, like black kids, have a higher rate of causing problems. They all deserve to be in jail. Meanwhile, the person writing those disciplinary reports is perpetuating racism by writing down words that they know or have a habit of having triggering rhetoric in the school system. It's the same reason, like for example, before we get, I know we're teetering off, but it's the same reason why pit bulls have a bad record only because they're dogs more frequently owned by people of color, specifically black people, because we couldn't afford the Chihuahuas, we couldn't afford the Yorkies. Now we can, but we couldn't afford the Golden Retrievers. We could not afford that. The dogs we had were dogs for protection because we were getting abused and kidnapped out of our homes. So it's more likely that black people had pit bulls, Rottweilers, Doberman Pinschers, those type of dogs.
I think that the argument against pit bulls too, the reason why so much of it is fueled against racism, is it's always under the guise of safety, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pit bulls are more likely to attack. Pit bulls are vicious. Pit bulls are bred for protection and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Forgetting the fact that two things. One, when it comes to safety, dogs that are more likely to bite, pit bulls aren't even on the list.
Yeah, they're not even close on the list.
Mainly because actual vet techs and actual like animal scientists, zoologists, have confirmed that most of the reason why dogs bite is because of people for whatever reason, whether it's they willfully chose to ignore the signs that this dog was scared or whatever, or they just honestly didn't know. But they got bit. Most of those bites are from accidents. Yeah. Most of those bites are, again, from people just being people, right? And even the vicious bites where it's like, oh, this dog has like actual aggression and behavioral issues, most of that still comes from dog breeds like working dogs. Working dog breeds like border collies, like any kind of herding breed, because they're meant to herd.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
What do you think happens when you have a very high ADHD mind dog and you keep them locked in a boring ass apartment around your children?
Yeah.
What do you think's gonna happen? So you have all of that kind of data that at the very least is wild and random enough that, in my personal opinion, racism should not be able to fit in that. Mm-hmm. Because according to that formula, why should it?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Any dog breed, any dog can bite if you have the capability of ignoring the signs. Just like any dog breed, there's no one breed is not more prone to viciousness than the other. Mm-hmm. Obviously. And yet people still use their prejudices in cases like this. I mean, to use the racism argument here, not to address the fucking elephant. Elphaba is green, and her issue is her skin color. Yeah. Hello? Maybe I was going to ask you about the discussions regarding how do you feel about the theory that Elphaba is dark-skinned and Nessa is light-skinned.
Actually, you know what? That is interesting.
Hold on. It's interesting, but I'm not gonna bring that argument in because it's already been like 30 minutes.
I agree, but like that is a very.
But it is something that people should talk about that.
I also do like you know what? No, I'll talk about it later. Yes.
One final thing. In this little scene, a little tidbit, I think that Nessa's maybe willful ignorance. Her decision to choose and either maybe not look away, but explain away the Elphaba's mistreatment. Mm-hmm. Because us, the viewers, obviously know that this is abuse.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that Nessa's taking it, like, her explanation away for it to maybe disguise her own discomfort regarding her sister's treatment is just kind of been like, well, maybe if Elphaba tried to fit in like I have. Because, yeah, you're green, but I'm in a wheelchair. Am I also not weird? Do you think they also wouldn't have bullied me?
Well, that's another thing is like, you would think, okay, so Nessa Rose being the daughter of the governor obviously gives her a type of privilege. It should give both of them privilege. Mm-hmm. But yet, it's only Nessa Rose who gets that privilege. Elphaba is literally treated like crap by everybody, even though she is the eldest. So technically speaking, because this goes by like basically the eldest is supposed to get the throne or whatever, or like the guy chooses. I forget the politics of it, but it's like, as the eldest and the person who's clearly smart, she should be training to be the next governor of Munchkinland.
She should have something.
Yeah, clearly she is being trained to be a housekeeper for her sister. You know, be like a supporter for her. And like also she dresses like her father. You know, like and it's, I don't know if the black is supposed to be a thing that, because okay, so in the books, her wearing black, she just chooses to wear it, but as you can see, she's trying to emulate her father.
The costume design is very similar.
Yeah, the costume design is very similar, like the buttons, the silhouette, like the jacket, the button jacket, overcoat, like both of them are serving. I'm not gonna deny that. But at the same time, she's not. She's treated like crap. She's teased, and her father should have stopped those kids from being mean to her. He should have been like, she is my eldest child, she's going to come after me. But he didn't. If anything, he most likely encouraged it. You know? And that's what I mean when I said earlier, I'm like, you guys have like talking animals. You guys have everybody in your school, like everybody in your town is a fucking redhead. You know, you even have people who have a physical disability, Vanessa Rose. But you draw the line at Elphaba being green.
Yes, you draw the line at green skin.
I have a problem with that. And before somebody says you have a problem with, no, my problem is the hypocrisy. You know, which also unfortunately does happen with people deciding, who am I going to bully? You know, because maybe in their mind, people having disabilities, like physical disabilities, happens all the time, so they probably don't care.
Yeah.
But at the same time, green skin, that's where you guys draw the line.
Fuck him.
With a chainsaw, because...
Fuck him.
Because okay, another problem, because also this is also triggering for me as well, because the abusive parent is then benefiting, per se, from the adultification of their child's labor. Like, I'm not sure if a lot of you guys are older siblings or if you have an older sibling, but one of the most common thing that happens, especially if your older sibling is a girl, and she is a BIPOC, it is way common for us older BIPOC siblings to be adultified. Basically, we become the second or third parent in the household, and we're not allowed to have a childhood because we're expected to take care of everybody while also like not having a voice and this is going to be a little personal, but like a thing that our parent, like our mother, would always do is that she just expected that I would know what to do when it came for the care of of my siblings. And if something was like she could basically choose to not do something. You know, so like there have been that there were several times where she just chose not to like cook, and she knew that I was not going to let us starve. So what did I do? I had to learn how to cook when I was like 10 years old.
Yeah,
you know,
like, it's a weird kind of hearing people talk about like, oh, this is when childhood ends, and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. It's a different dynamic when you're an older sibling. Always.
Mm-hmm.
Always. Because low key, your childhood ends the moment you become a sibling.
Yeah.
And it is so terrible. Because if you're lucky, you'll be able. It's not luck. You'll be able to Ramona and Beezus the situation, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, why should you? You're not the adult.
And
you are not an adult, and you are very much aware that you want it.
And then when you call them out, you know, years later, hopefully you've gone to therapy. I've just recently started going to therapy. But like when you call them out on your adultification, the most common answer you get is, well, what was I supposed to do? Or like, or another thing they'll do is, well, it wasn't that bad. Meanwhile, like it wasn't that bad, or you're just, or you're misremembering things. Meanwhile, your siblings, the dog, the next door neighbor, the school teacher, all know that you're telling the truth. Because I'll be fully honest, when we were in school, those teachers did not call our mom. They called me. They called me, especially with Tony. Tony was a biter.
Hey, Mike, never entered anyone that didn't
deserve it. I will give you that. You did not bite anybody who did not deserve it. But they weren't calling our mother. They were calling me from, like, you know, down the hall, just trying to figure out why Tony was pulling the hair of somebody. And I'm just like, and I'm like, well, they gave a warning. I will give you that. You always gave people at least one warning before you started ripping. Before you started beating ass.
Whooping ass and taking names, and I'm fresh out of names.
And rounding out the rest of our faculty, we have two scholars eminent in their respective fields of forestry and agriculture, as well as Professor Mombi of the biological arts, and of course, the head of our history department, Dr. Dillerman.
I am so sorry. I can't remember if we mentioned this before. Did we mention at any point the second, like, Return to Oz?
Yeah, we did earlier. We talked about Oz, Return to Oz earlier.
Professor Mombi was the villain in that movie.
Okay. Here's the thing. I never saw Return to Oz, but the fact that he's the villain. The fact that he's the villain. Oh, she's the villain? She's the villain?
She was a bad bitch.
Okay, because that's her right there.
That's her right there on the left?
Yeah. The plus size lady. Yeah,
Professor Mombi?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's her.
That's crazy.
Interesting.
Y'all better watch your hands. Watch your necks.
I hate you.
All I gotta say.
Glinda, don't piss me off. Don't piss me off, Glinda.
Why are you doing that, girl?
No, for real. Also, like, why were you looking around, bitch? That's another thing that
he has ADHD. She can't focus.
She can't focus my left butt cheek. Why was she looking around like that?
He was just trying to, like, he was bored during the ceremony. Because, hey, can you blame her? And then...
I'm sick. I'm so sick.
That's crazy. I'm not, no. Girl, you knew better.
I'm so pissed. Every time I see a fantasy show or a movie and they have color in their outfits, I want to throw up. Because why, House of the Dragon? Why? Why don't you have this? Like, I hate the push that, you know, basically ever since COVID, we hardly ever get fantasy shows that have actual fantasy in them. They almost always are, like, dark and gloomy and shit. I hate it.
That's because so much of, like, 2020, late 2010 film is, like, if it's an adult thing, if it's not for children in any way, if it is fully adult, they're like, mute the colors. We need to be serious. We need to be great. We need to be serious.
I know.
And it's like,
it pisses me off.
But like, you're in fantasy.
You're
in fantasy. Carnival Row, I think it's called.
Yeah.
The show with
Orlando Bloom. Orlando Bloom.
Yeah. It's either him or I was about to say Kit Harington, but I don't think it's Kit.
No.
Yeah, you have Orlando Bloom and that model lady with the eyebrows. I forgot her name.
The model lady with the eyebrows. I'm sick.
You know exactly who I'm talking about, though.
Do I?
Yes, you do. Because the moment I pull up her photo, you're gonna be like, "Oh, it's her," and then, "Oh, there's the eyebrows." But two, they'll do that shit and then be like, we're doing an edge. We're fantasy on the edge. Fantasy is fantasy.
Exactly.
Fantasy is literally just not real life. Fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Fictional. Right?
Exactly.
So if it's fictional, why should it matter if the mood, if I can't fucking see anything?
Especially, another thing, especially since bright colors are symbolic of wealth. That's the reason why.
Yes.
That's the reason why dye businesses exploded when they figured out they could make synthetic dyes, because everybody. Same thing with spices. Everybody could afford it, so their profits went through the freaking roof. Because back in the day, the only people that could afford their brightly colored dyes were like the ultra rich who wore them, all the time. But it's like the fact that you got like kings and queens in these fantasy shows wearing freaking just black leather is disgusting.
Where's the variety?
And it's always the same black leather pants, knee-high boots, and like stupid overcoat with maybe a white puffy shirt. They never ever have any like cool outfits.
Character design, or just costume design, period. In my opinion, still like pay homage. Sorry, I mean a taco. Pay homage to. I say eating. Pay homage.
You really do.
To what is food I'm gonna eat. With pay homage to whatever kind of like culture that you're deriving your inspiration from. Like in Star Wars, a lot of Coruscant clothing and gear was very much reminiscent of like East Asian culture, so like Mongolia, Japan, and it's like that's cool and all, but also be practical here. The fictional country could be like dark clothes, dark colors, blah 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 blah, but then light it better. I can't see.
Lighting.
I can't see
another
at
thing.
Night. That's stupid. I can't see in the day. I can't. But you also can't distinguish the difference between fucking characters either. If everybody is in some rugged, cool-looking gear, what's the difference? You're all the fucking same.
Yeah.
How is any of these people memorable or gonna stick out? We are immediately gonna recognize and remember Madame Morrible because of this intro.
Exactly, and like look at her outfits.
Remember Glinda. Yeah, we're gonna remember Glinda. Look at her. You can see Glinda in any shot. Because all you gotta do is just look for a pink bitch.
Exactly.
Like, what happened to common sense?
Oh god. And also color palette. Most people do not know how to color palette. And most designers do not know how to color palette because like I said, most producers are like, just make it black. Nobody cares. No!
Why? Feel like no one cares for anything. Because they don't want to spend too much money.
And also
the
silhouette is always the same. Support the girls, please.
This is about my application to your sorcery seminar. Perhaps you recall my essay? Magic wands, need they have a point?
Well, dear, I don't teach my seminar every semester. Of course, if someone very special were to come along.
Exactly. This is why I wanted to talk to you.
But then also look at that post. but another thing is like, okay, clearly being the governor of Munchkin's Land's daughter should have some political weight.
Some kind of clout, yeah.
But then also the fact that like she does not know she has another, like he did not have another daughter. I don't like that.
Fuck him.
I really don't like that.
Dead ass, because like, okay, let's say that he is one of those kind of parents that's like overprotective when it comes to Nessa. Maybe he hid away Elphaba at some point because it was easier. And just like it was also easier to just tell people that he only had one daughter. On the other hand, I don't understand how or why that would be an easy decision, because you know you don't have one daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your shame? Where is this man's shame? His whatever kind of
Guilt.
reason. Yeah, no, well, yeah, but whatever kind of justification that he has for that guilt and for that shame, it's not enough. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It is not worth it.
Yeah, I agree.
This is terrible. Like, look at her. She's like, the other daughter? What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? You haven't even heard of me and I'm green?
And not only that, but like, she's his firstborn daughter. We can clearly tell that there's no sexism that goes on here.
Like, hello?
You know, like we can clearly tell that there's no, there actually isn't. So we can clearly tell that
I feel like the sexism might be a little more subtle, but like, if there is one in this society, I feel like it would be a bit more subtle.
You think so?
But yeah, because if they're dumb enough to still have racism, then they're smart enough to still have sexism or something like that in some way.
Maybe.
Fuck her.
This was my chance, my new start. I'm sorry, Nessa. I didn't.
It was, okay, so when I saw that scene, that's the scene that kind of cemented my very strong dislike of Nessa Rose, of her wanting to have her cake and eat it too. Because as you clearly saw, she was telling the lady, I can do this myself, I can do this myself. Elphaba was saying, she can do this herself, she can do this herself. She does not need you. She was supporting her sister. And then when clearly the lady was not listening to Nessa, to the point where Nessa was getting very upset, Elphaba had the rightful older sibling response of, you're not listening to my sister, get your hands off her. You know, and then Nessa, after having that scene, rather than being like, oh my gosh, sister, thank you so much for helping me, that lady was not listening, that lady was not, she was exactly, she was not listening to my boundaries. She then blames Elphaba. This was my one start, basically saying, you ruined my life. It was this scene that made me be like, yeah, no, I do not like Nessa, and I cannot understand not that I can't understand, but the fact that I gave her no more grace. Because Elphaba was basically doing what she tried, doing what she wanted. She was trying to support her sister's independence. She was telling her she can do this on her own. Why aren't you listening to her? And the moment she realized that lady's not listening to her, she's like, okay, fine, get your hands off my sister. And then Nessa, after that big scene is like, now you just ruined my life with your weird magic shit. And, went off. Yeah, so, and that's what I mean when I say she wants to have her cake and eat it too. You can't do that. You can't do that.
You cannot. It is not fair for you to reap the benefits of abuse but still be mad when the world goes around and treats you, unfortunately, like the thing of glass that you are. It makes no sense. You want to be treated like an adult and be given those opportunities, but then clearly cannot, I was gonna say, stand up for herself. Well, she can't.
Yeah.
Why? Because, okay, I'm not saying in this case, someone like another person than the disabled, in this case, Nessa in her wheelchair. I'm not saying that Nessa is not capable, or anybody else in her situation would not be capable of, putting their foot down or having their own bodily autonomy, gaining their own independence. But when it does happen, when you do need help, right? I understand that you would be mad. I understand that she would be mad at the scene that it did cause, because someone could have gotten hurt. Point blank period, someone could have gotten hurt.
But the thing is, that's not...
hold on. Because Elphaba is a very powerful being. On the other hand, though, that is not the response we make. As a sibling, we should be able to understand the nuances of our siblings' actions when it comes to us. I understand that you taught me not to fight, but sometimes I had to. I understand that sometimes I would be like, leave me alone. I got this. I can handle the situation with, like, let's say a problem in class. Like I'm failing a class or whatever. But then, I mean, it'd be stupid to go out and be like ungrateful if and when you would go out and talk to those teachers yourself and be like, hey, just try to clear the air. You do what an older sister does should not be faulted to you. And
especially since majority of what older sisters do is on instinct, because we've been conditioned to do it since we were children.
Yeah,
you know, like
Nessa, girl,
because it's like, yeah, you might have
told Nessa, you knew better. That is not what you say to someone who helps you.
Yeah. Especially since you clearly saw that she was not doing it on purpose.
Elphaba,
That shit was hilarious.
you can room with Miss Glinda.
What?
Now,
I'm gonna be so quiet during this performance.
No, same, because it's like, okay, so here's the thing. Technically speaking, up until this point, we don't really know much of the wizard, right? And yeah, he's mentioned, but they never really, it's one of my main problems is also, I just realized she has contour in her green makeup, period. I just looked at her like, wow, her whole face is contoured in certain areas. They got different shades of green. But the thing that makes me, the thing that really intrigues me is that they don't really talk much about the wizard. Like, he's mentioned, obviously, but they don't really explain in the movie why Elphaba really wants to meet him so badly until we get to here. To which I kind of feel like they could have set up a different way. Like, maybe when she was a little kid, have her, like, you know, okay, so remember she had the book?
Yeah.
I feel like the book can still work, right? But we don't know how she got the book. We don't know who gave her the book. So I feel like it like a simple line of dialogue or a simple scene of maybe like her father begrudgingly giving it to her as like a gift, because we know he never gave her anything willingly. Or maybe she like overhears the adults talking about the wizard, because there's no real reason for her to be so obsessed with him.
No, it's not.
You know, like you see what I mean?
Yeah, like I believe that her obsession for him is understandable, but not explained well. Okay, I get it. You want, like, I believe that I always thought that the reason why her motivation to seeing the wizard was because he's the only other person in their world who's like her, who's different completely, who's strange, who's peculiar, who's powerful even, but people still like him. People still I think she admired him a lot. It was like, I just want to see my my hero. Meanwhile, like I don't know, I feel like low-key the movie tries to give off the vibe of like she wants to meet him because of some intrinsic thing. Like, inherently she wants to meet him because some part of her suspects maybe that something's up between the two of them. But, or maybe, you know what? No, I take that back. Now that I say that, I don't think the movie's trying to say that. I think that is just something that I'm assuming based on the fact that, like, well, I'd have to ask. The twist about Elphaba's parentage, about the wizard being, spoilers but not spoilers, they literally kind of hinted to this in the beginning. The wizard being Elphaba's father, or at least parent. Do you think, time-wise, was that found out quicker? Was that mystery found out, like, right at the beginning? or was it like kind of breadcrumbed, would you say, throughout the novel and the play?
So it's kind of a mixture of the two. So the play. So here's the thing. For the first thing, in the books, trigger warning, it's not consensual. He drugs her mother. So that's the first.
The green stuff was?
Yeah. The green stuff was a drug that so basically the story in the books, like I said, trigger warning, is that he basically was going like town to town and sleeping with different women. And how he did that was by seducing them and then giving them that little green bottle. I can't exactly remember if it was like supposed to keep them sterilized or something, or if it was to prevent a pregnancy. Because for what I remember, Elphaba is his only child.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, Elphaba is his only child. So basically, like, he saw her mother, he wanted her mother, he seduced her, he gave her that, that thing to drug her, he slept with her, Elphaba was conceived and born, right? Yeah. And Elphaba and her parents kind of like weren't aware per se, because like I said, they also were in a polyamorous relationship with this other dude. So like, they just assumed, because it also kind of like erased her memory. So they just assumed that, her father was the father, or the other dude was the father, until she came out green and her mother remembered what was going on, right? Yeah. So I can't remember in the play. If I recall in the play, it's kind of heavy-hand hinted, like the movie did, where first of all they remove the non-consent. Like, it's very consensual in the movie and in the play. But the same way how it's more heavily handed to you that the wizard is, her father, it's the same in both. But the thing is, like, do you know how, like, what makes Elphaba so special? Or do you want me to save that until, like, later? I mean, it's not really a spoiler. I mean, it's not really a spoiler per se.
Well, yeah, but like, I mean, maybe later for right now. Just for now. We've got like 2 hours.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Song time!
Well, actually, no, let's go ahead and let's talk about the amazing song. So the symbolism, first of all, top tier. I also love that Cynthia and Ariana apparently sang live, like, to layer their natural voices with the soundtrack, which, rather than mouthing it, because I think both of them decided that they couldn't emote the way they could without it, which I can understand that. I can agree.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. I'll give them that. But then also I find it very interesting that, like I said, like literally like we were talking about earlier, on how there is no real reason for her to be so obsessed with the wizard without those 1 or 2 lines of dialogue or scene. Because like, we know obviously why there's like this drive towards her and the wizard. We know why. But story-wise, there is nothing for really there to be a reason to, other than she has that book that we don't even know how she got.
Yeah, I think outside of just like genuine curiosity, like, she admires him. Like, she's like, you're one of the only people here who I think, like, well, that person knows me and can relate to me. And so she's like, I really want you to like me. I really hope that we can bond over that. Because what do you think happened to a child that the village neglects? They're going to burn down the village in order to feel its warmth. We all saw Black Panther.
Yeah, we all saw Black Panther.
The first one. We all saw there. We were all there for for Killmonger, we all know, well, at least should have. You would think we all would know.
You would think you think it would have been clear.
You think it would be fucking clear. But, I mean, it's not. I guess that's okay. It's fine. It could be. But, on the other hand, I feel like that makes her meeting the wizard that much more tragic when she realizes, like, everyone's canon event, don't meet your heroes. It happens. It's fine. It's annoying. I hate it when it happens, but it does. But don't meet your heroes, kids. Don't do it. This is why.
Yeah. So here's my thing about this interpretation of Elphaba. She's so...
Quiet.
She's so... Yeah, quiet, but she's so... How do I explain it? I'm trying to think. She's so... I wouldn't say basic, because basic's not the right word at all. She's so impassive.
I would say, do you think she's forgiving, incredibly
forgiving? Thank you. She's so forgiving, but also overtly thoughtful, that it kind of makes her a doormat, but only, here's the thing, only because of how she was raised. I feel like if she had a more loving upbringing, she would not be this way. But it's the way how she clearly is only this way because all she wants basically is her father's love. And the only way to get her father's love is to just do whatever, whatever he tells her to do or whatever is expected of her. And so she obviously, when she sees that, the average person would be like, bitch, move your shit. But, but she's like, do you really think this is fair?
Yeah.
And she said it so calmly too. She said it so calmly and meekly too that I'm like, ooh, Elphaba, my girl Elphaba.
Elphaba is like the perfect example of the kind of character where it's like they had to be in control of their emotions really, really quickly and really, really young. They had to. Which is like, why y'all making these folks deal with this?
Yeah.
Why y'all letting these folks this way? She don't want to deal with this. She don't want to have to.
She don't have to deal with your mess.
Dead ass, she should be in the club. I'm not joking. She should have been in the club.
God, I'm sick of you.
Fine. Be that way. But it really is rather selfish on your part. I asked really nicely, and I saved you this whole tour. I don't know. I've never known.
What the fuck are they have them wearing?
Also, an amazing song that I will be going quiet for you.
Also, what the heck do they have her wearing? They couldn't. Okay, here's the thing. They couldn't have given her like a cunty night outfit or something. Why does it have to be?
What?
It looks like a milkmaid dress. It should have been black. It should have been black and like edged with green. God. I refuse to accept otherwise. Also, where is her bonnet?
Is that what we see?
Them micros are going to be slipping out within the next couple of hours.
I also, side note, a little touch that I personally always had canon is that when Glinda and Elphaba eventually did get together, because they did, I think Glinda specifically learned how to like do Elphaba's hair. Canon event. Canon event.
Maybe. Okay, yes, this is the best song in the whole movie. Second best. The best song is obviously Defying Gravity, but like this is obviously the best song. I mean, the second best song of the movie, especially when you realize fucking Glinda gets the whole school to start bullying Elphaba. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
But then also, this also ties in with my problem with Nessa Rose. She sees this. And within the musical numbers, she doesn't do a thing.
Nope.
You know, so oh gosh. Also, we don't know a context of time has passed. In the books, it's been like a couple of months. So, you know, I'm just assuming that's how many times, like that's how long has passed now. But like, I don't know. What do you think?
I think that I wish I was more well versed in this particular topic that I'm about to bring up, but I have seen people like discuss the symbolism of, I almost said Matilda, of Glinda being one of those, an ally for good, but only if that good is like a particular kind.
Yeah, she's a performative ally. That's the thing.
That's the way. Yeah.
She's a performative ally because she believes that she's not doing anything wrong, yet she's still actively participating, if not encouraging, the bullying of Elphaba.
Yeah, because unfortunately, you say shit like this, way too often, where you have people who believe genuinely in the good of others and trying to make the world a better place. But it's performative in the sense of like, well, after a while, who are you trying to help? Who are you benefiting here? Is it is it generally everyone, or is it just like-minded people like you?
Exactly.
You know? And it's fine if you have those prejudices, but it's fine if you have those prejudices and you like admit that, because we can work through that. You can unlearn. I do believe anyone and everyone can and should unlearn any and all societal norms that they grew up in that isn't normal.
Yeah.
As long as they admit that it isn't.
Yeah.
You know, because we can tell when you're fake. Actual allies would not be, I mean, they'd probably still be shocked because people are still people. But like, I do not think that Glinda's change of heart wouldn't have happened the way that it did if she had already came in with a sense of non-privilege, right? Because you do have you know those missionary kids, who are all about trying to make the world a better place. Okay, but you're spreading the gospel of
an oppressor,
colonizers, of an oppressor to people who, what if they don't want that? But also, like, hey dog, not to look the bring up the elephant in the room, address the elephant in the room here, but Glinda is white and Elphaba is not that. So
she's literally a woman of color.
She's literally a woman of color. Like, hello. But you, what do you do when you have a well-off woman of color who's maybe not, doesn't have the advantages that Glinda's privilege grants her, but that doesn't mean that she's not capable. I personally believe that Elphaba is capable of being a great wizard and magician and sorceress, all of that stuff. I believe that she's capable of that because that's just the kind of person that she is. The kind of personality traits that would have caused that kind of power-hungry, mad scientist kind of mentality that I think they're afraid of, Glinda included, she does not have. She is Elphaba is incredibly humble. She's incredibly considerate. More so, to a bad degree. She worries so much about other people where it limits her.
Yeah, exactly.
And it hurts. But, on the other hand, fucking look at her. Look, she's ready and willing to let Nessa be mad at her if it means that she doesn't feel like a helpless victim.
Yeah.
I'm okay with you being mad at me if it makes you feel better. But like, no, Elphaba, no. She's a bitch. She was born a bitch. She was being a bitch to you. She broke girl code. That's not okay.
And she also is more than willing to let you get the brunt of the punishment. You know?
Yes.
Like, she's more than willing to let you get the brunt of the punishment. And that is not okay.
That is not okay, girl. You do not deserve to be around people or to limit yourself around people who don't care for you.
Exactly.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it, girl.
Like the martyr complex. Maybe not complex, but the that kind of mentality, that kind of like, I need to help my sister as much as I can, whenever I can.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely cannot be for her as an older sibling, but also like, how often do you think she blames herself for their mother? I'll wait.
Yeah.
I'll fucking wait.
Yeah, I agree. So it's sad.
It's so sad.
I